from PRX.
Hey everybody, this is a classic episode of Sleep With Me, and it covers a couple episodes of The Good Place. And I just want to give you a heads up, there's mentions of CLOW, like WNSs, the ones that, you know, with the red noses. There's also a character in the show whose name sounds like something else. His name could be spelled Gunnar, or probably spelled that, but it may sound like something else. So if any of that stuff might bother you, you might want to skip this classic episode of Sleep With Me. You know, this is an extra episode we started putting out a few years ago to better serve our audience, give you more selection, more content to bring you sleepy joy and delight and help you fall asleep. So there's plenty of stuff out there if you want to skip this one. If you love The Good Place, though, you'll know you know what I'm talking about anyway. And don't worry, it'll be extremely sleepy. So here you go. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and friends beyond the binary, it's time for the podcaster who can't get enough of rewriting Katy Perry songs when he thinks of it, which is, you know, inconsistently. But it's time for the podcaster that if he sang a song, it might have a chorus that would say, "Let me hear you purr," because it's time for Sleep With Me. I can't stop. I got a goofiest look on my face you would ever see, because it's time for the podcast to put you to sleep. Sleep With Me podcast is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever think about switching insurance companies to see if you could save some cash? Progressive makes it easy to see if you could save when you bundle your home and auto policies. Try it at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states.
If your eyes are the windows to your soul and your glasses are the windows to your eyes, then it's pretty important to find your perfect frames. That's why at Warby Parker, we've made shopping for eyewear as easy and fun as can be. Peruse endless styles in our stores, or use our app to virtually try on frames and get personalized recommendations. To find your next favorite pair of glasses, sunglasses, or contact lenses, or to locate your nearest Warby Parker store, head over to warbyparker.com. That's warbyparker.com.
Hey, everybody, this is Scoots, and I'm running through the yeses for supporting the show, because it takes a lot of yeses to support the show, but I want to go through the no's first. If you're new, don't support the show. If you only listen once in a while, no need to support the show. If you can't support the show, don't worry. We got you. And if you've already chosen or you're not interested in supporting the show, don't worry either. We got you. It is rare to support the show, and that's okay, because it's difficult, even for the people that have heard me asking for years. So I'm trying to see if the yeses have piled up at this point for you. Like, yes, you love having a boar friend or a boar bud. Yes, I maybe put a smile on your face or half a smile. Yes, you got favorite episodes. Yes, you like to listen to it a certain way. Yes, you know the show is there when you go to bed, when you're in the middle of the night, when you're on the road all night long, night after night, year after year. Yes, I know the podcast is there for me. I count on it. Yes, I couldn't find anything else like this. Yes, I couldn't replace the show. Yes, I know how much goes into this podcast. Yes, I know it needs people like me to support it. Yes, I want to be a part of this thing right now. For me and everybody else. Yeah, it's going to feel great when I sign up for the podcast, because it already feels great when I listen now. Yes, I can't wait to support the show because I love it, or I really strongly like the podcast. If that's you, you could sign up right now at sleepwithmepodcast.com/plus. But if you have all those yeses, don't wait, because they don't last. I've put stuff off, but you know what I mean. So don't put it off. Support the show now. Sleepwithmepodcast.com/plus. I'm only asking if it's all yeses for you. And then set up the bonus content tomorrow, and you'll be a part of this thing now and into the future for as long as you listen. You'll be able to count on this show, and other people will be counting on you in a good way, no pressure way. You can cancel at any point, but you'll be a part of this thing that impacts so many people's lives. And its goal is to bring sleepy joy and delight in the deep, dark night. So if all that's yeses, sleepwithmepodcast.com/plus. Thanks. Oh, Mystery Bard. A lot of people help out on our show. Who are they?
Chris Posty Poster Son sounds like an earful. Wrote the theme song. Edits episodes too. Carl W. the Legend. Also edits episodes. Ashley, Kenny, Scotty, Jennifer. Runner. Eric and the team at Astound are on the website. I am the Mystery Bard. I do the lullabies, yeah. I do commissions at jonathanmann.net. I'll write a song for you. Any reason at all. You can tell me the story and I'll make it personal. You see the kindness shine straight on through when the listeners form their own Facebook group. Keith, Stacy, Sarah, Julie, and Jennifer. These are your narrators. Get support dear Scooter on Patreon. Buy the merch and support the sponsors. You can find anything you want at sleepwithmepodcast.com. And we're so proud that we could dance. Rusty Biscuit, Lois, Hannah like banana. Leah does the transcripts.
Thanks, Mr. Bard. And remember, there's tons of free ways to help the podcast out. If you're one of those listeners who have been saying, hey, don't try to support the show directly. You could follow or subscribe to the show on your podcast app of choice so you get the episodes as they come out. You could comment or like episodes where you could do that. And you could let somebody know about the podcast. Those are all huge, huge ways to help the show, and I really appreciate it. Thanks, everybody. And what do you say we get on with the show? Hey, are you up all night tossing, turning, mind racing, trouble getting to sleep, trouble staying asleep? Well, welcome. This is Sleep With Me, the podcast that puts you to sleep. We do it with a bedtime story. All you need to do is get in bed, turn out the lights, and press play. I'm going to do the rest. What I'm going to attempt to do is create a safe place. A very good, safe place where you could set aside whatever's keeping you awake, whether it's thoughts, feelings, physical sensations. It could be a neutral place, too. Neutral good. I guess more of a neutral good place. Is that what they call... Is that another term for warm water? Well, let me get back. Would you say, well, it's warm. It's neutral good. No, I guess that doesn't work. So try to create a safe place where you can set aside whatever's keeping you awake, whether it's thoughts, feelings, physical sensations, changes in temperature, time, schedule, work, whatever it is. I'd like to take your mind off of that, to keep you company, to distract you from whatever's keeping you awake. I'm going to send my voice across the deep, dark night. I'm going to use the lulling, soothing, creaky, dulcet tones, which if you're new, take 2 or 3 or 5 episodes to get used to, but eventually you do, or you move on. But hopefully you do, or you're already feeling neutral, chaotic. I mean, my brain is chaotic. It's not neutral either. But yeah, I'm going to send my voice across the deep, long, soothing, creaky, dulcet tones, pointless meanders and distractions, which you've already witnessed. All to take your mind off whatever's keeping you awake, to keep you company, and to be here while you drift off into dreamland. Now, a couple things. If you're new, that's what I said. A couple things, and I was touching my pinky and my ring finger, trying to remember what the things were and why. If you're new, here's the structure of the show. Starts off with a few minutes of business, and that's what keeps the podcast going. You can find most of that info over at sleepwithmepodcast.com/sponsors tomorrow when your hand hits the fridge. But if you're new, that's just the top of the show. Thanks for sticking through that. Then there's an intro, which we've begun. Unlike other intros or opens, this one's about 12 to 14 minutes long. And it's where, I guess it's a weighing of the balances, or a balance of the ways, or something like that, where I say, I could do a brief intro, but then the podcast would be very disorienting. And I guess I've never explained this, but I always picture what do you call that? Archetypal sweet, sweet grandmother, the best grandmother you've ever had, if you've had multiple grandmothers, which, I mean, I guess it depends. I mean, if you were raised in a village, if you were raised by a village, You'd say, hey, I got my 2 regular grandmothers and then all the other grandmothers, because it does take a village, as they say. Imagine a village of sweet grandmothers. That would be a delightful place to visit for the day. No offense, grandmothers, but you can only have so many baked goods and cheek pinches and head pats and being wrapped in, maybe you can't, being wrapped in Afghans. It sounds like a good place to visit, too. But where was it? I was trying to explain what the podcast was. Excuse me, sweet, sweet grandmothers. Oh, no, I was trying to explain. See, this is where I get distracted and mixed up. Totally, this part's all written out, by the way. Not really. This is an organic mix-up. But, I always picture like a sweet, sweet grandmother tuning into the podcast for the first time, and I don't want her to say, what in the tarnation? I mean, maybe I do, because tarnation's another word we probably should get more use of. Yosemite Sam or whatever. Yosemite Sam, whatever. They kind of like, that was the last, people said, well, I don't know if I want to use a word that's associated with that giant mustache cowboy who was a total grouch. I think that's who the last person I was aware of that used tarnation on a regular basis. So, but I don't want to I don't want people to tune in. It's by trying to not do that. Then I have these long intros, which have become shows within a show that the listeners use to prepare for bed. Some people listen when they're in traffic. Some people use it as they're getting their bed ready or journaling or getting comfortable. Part of the wind down routine. And so, I'm still here. I could do the same intro, I guess, every time. But I really believe that there's a variety, like a familiarity and a variety is one of the things that works about this podcast. And I almost forgot all the other things I was talking about, but I was going to introduce the new listeners to my expertise at putting people to sleep, which is my circuitous, my inability to pronounce words about meandering or whatever those are, synonyms or I think I got an antonym crawling around in my brain. So there's an intro, then there's a story some nights, and tonight will be a TV recap. It'll be a new series. It'll probably be in the title of the episode, but just in case you didn't look at the title, we're going to take a break from sci-fi for a little while, but you could call this this does have a touch of sci-fi in it, maybe, we're going to be covering The Good Place, season 1 for the next few weeks. So we'll be talking about that in a way that, will be heavy on the details, like light on the plot, and I don't want to spoil any jokes by explaining them because the show is very humor-rich, and also the performances in that show are divine. I didn't even mean to pun that, but I guess it is in some sense a pun. Or is it, Michael? I don't know. So... where was I? Okay, so we're going to have an intro for about 12 minutes, which I think we're probably already at minute 8 or something. Then we'll talk about The Good Place in a really meandering, indirect, dreamy way. In between the intro and the talk about The Good Place, we'll have some business. That's how we keep the show going, too. And then at the end are thank yous and good nights. So all told, I'll be here around an hour. And the reason the show is an hour, to give you plenty of time to fall asleep. There's no pressure to fall asleep. This is a podcast to put you to sleep by being here. By being your boyfriend, your borbay, your borcas, your borsib, your Barbara, if you're down in San Diego. I'm the meow to your roar. So I guess... or the purr to your roar. I don't know. Is it I guess it's a meow to a roar. Anybody from the SAT listening, that could be a question. You could use that. Meow is to roar as purr is to that would be the answer would be, ooh, I don't know. Purr would be, I guess purr would be, I don't know what the other questions would be. Harumph, chew. I guess this could be one of the early questions, or hardy har har. Maybe they should have an audio version. Cause what the heck with those tests? Why couldn't there be I don't know. I always forget if I'm an auditory learner or a visual learner or not, neither. But I could have used that. Like I said, okay, let me listen to the question, and then let me view the question, and then let me do some doodling around the question, and then I'll do some daydreaming, and then I'll get back to the podcast intro. So that's it. You don't need to feel any pressure to fall asleep. You also don't need to listen to me. I'm going to try to be mildly engaging, or I guess I actually am mildly engaging. I try to be engaging, and I say, well, you're over engaging in an understimulating way. I guess that's exactly what I think. That was on my wrapper when I came out of my wrapper. I'm over whatever I said, kind of like a town of idealized grandparents would be. You'd say, well, you're overly delightful. I've got to go, but I know it's 4:30, but I got to go. A town that smells like cabbage in a pretty good way. But you say, I got to go. I can only eat so many meals. And it's been overly delightful. That's why I have to leave at 4 p.m. That's when I got to get home. You got to work tomorrow. Sorry, grandparents. Nanaville, they could call it. I guess that wouldn't be over. Let's call it Nanaville. Sorry, pop-ups and pop-ups. And, we let, Nanaville, patriarchy free since whenever. I don't know. Maybe that could be seasoned. The Good Place, I think, has got enough skills. So maybe that could be maybe I could just pitch that. Golden Girls meets The Good Place. It's called Nanaville. Well, what is it? I'm just pitching this to CBS and ABC. It's the same thing as The Good Place, but with the Golden Girls. It's called Nanaville. Good Place meets The Golden Girls. That's what it is. And there's probably, people do chase trends, so that might already be in production. I'm always behind. I'm always like miles behind the people chasing the trends. Like, I just thought of this. They say, yeah, we did. They say, you sure you didn't travel from the future to my brain? And then say, Nanaville. It's like The Good Place, but with the Golden Girls. So what's the difference between the two? Well, not exactly sure. It's in development, actually. So it's a delightful place. Does your channel have smell-o-vision? Let me ask you a question. And we'd like to distill the show with a flavor of butterscotch. Do you have the ability with it? Because I'm only pitching channels that could do that. It could be an option. We could have it. I know we have UHD and we have 4K, HDR. And it'll be a butterscotch infused TV show. It's called Nanaville. And we're working to get Jay Timberlake to do the theme song for it. We got to get the rights from SNL, which will be tough because I guess they're owned by NBC as well. So anyway, actually, believe it or not, I was in a podcast intro that I've been, sorry, I drifted, guys, spent so much time with those bananas, and gotten so comfortable, I drifted right into a daydream. But the whole idea of this podcast, in all honesty, is that I know what it's like out there in the deep, dark night, tossing and turning and not being able to get to sleep or waking up repeatedly because you're dog sitting and one of the dogs you're dog sitting decides to just get on the couch, get off the couch, go look in the kitchen, come back in the room. And then you say, please, I wanted to give you free range to this apartment, but don't abuse that free range by taking your, free range. If you got to go, let me know. But you're pacing. I don't think you're pacing around because you got to go. That's what I always tell the dogs. I'm sitting. If you got to go, let me know. Got it? And they always just stare at me and wag their tail. And I say, okay, that's a good deal. And I think they do understand. So, this wasn't the case last night. It was, I don't know what it is, night walking or something. I don't know if dogs can daydream walk or whatever they call that, sleepwalk. This was more like, I don't know. I said, okay, kid, what do you keep moving around for? I even got up. I said, let me know. Do you got to go? Nope. Just walking around here, doing some night cardio or something. So anyway, most intros, I was saying that I know what it's like not being able to sleep because I didn't sleep last night that great. So, but I also know the state you can get in when you're thinking and you're like, what in the heck? Why can't I just go to sleep? Or why can't that dog stop moving so I can go to sleep? And it gets frustrating and it doesn't feel like a good place. The goal of this podcast is just at first to win your trust over time and create a neutral place where you say, okay, I don't even have to listen to this podcast. I don't need to fall asleep. It'll be on. It'll be there. And it'll be alternative I could listen to instead of thinking. And maybe over time, it becomes a good place where you say, well, Scoots is like not as funny as Megan A. that does writing for The Good Place. But he's mildly entertaining. So, yeah, it's like good. I get into bed. I almost laugh. I feel kind of cozy and I drift off. It's pretty good. It's a good place. But not as good as A Village Filled with Nanas, where the story is based on just the grandmothers or something. You could send your checks my way about that idea. But anyway, tonight we'll be talking about The Good Place for the first time. It'll be a little bit experimental because the first time I'm doing anything about a new series. We'll see how it goes, but it'll be lulling, soothing, and meandering. And I'll be here for you. If you can't sleep, I'll be here all the way to the end to keep you company. And like I say in every intro, I'm glad you're here. I work very hard, and I yearn and I strive to help you fall asleep. So thanks again for coming by. And if you could just listen here for a few ways we keep the show going. All right, everybody, it's time to talk about tonight's sponsor, Helix. And you know where I was last night? So comfortable, and this morning, and I didn't want to get out of bed because I was so cozy, so comfortable. Yeah, of course, I was in my Helix mattress. And the amazing thing about my Helix is it fits my needs, my sleep preferences, how I like to feel in bed. Because I took the quiz over at helixsleep.com/sleep, and I got matched with a mattress. So of all the features I need to sleep cool and comfortable, all the support I need for when I'm sleeping on my side, when I'm sleeping on my stomach, to take good care of my back. And so I get a great night's sleep. And then I'm so comfortable. I'd like to take the day off and spend it in bed, especially on these cool winter nights. Holy moly. But what about you and your mattress? Do you think it's time for an upgrade to a mattress that gets you and what you need? What's going to make you comfortable? I think you deserve that, right? And you could take that Helix quiz. It matches you with the perfect mattress based on your personal preferences and sleep needs. It makes buying a mattress easy, and you do it in the comfort of your own home. And there's free shipping in the U.S. It comes straight to your door. And what an upgrade it's been, because I had to temporarily sleep on a mattress that was not a Helix. And now I look forward to going to bed every night, to getting cozy, pulling those blankets in and snuggling down in my Helix. I'm going to be comfortable all night long. So what about you? How about you take that quiz and you see what discount Helix has to offer right now? Go to helixsleep.com/sleep to see the latest offers for Sleep With Me listeners. That's helixsleep.com/sleep for current offers. Make sure you enter our show name after checkout so they know we sent you. That's helixsleep.com/sleep. All right, everybody, it's time to talk about tonight's sponsor, ZocDoc. You know that feeling when you walk out of a doctor's office and you think, wow, I feel so much better now. They really listened to me. They really explained to me what was going on. I felt heard. I felt seen. The right doctor can make you feel lighter, clearer, gives you hope everything's going to be all right. And I had that kind of relationship with my doctor in California. I felt like he listened to me. It felt like he took his time with me. But unfortunately, I moved all the way across the country. I'm in a whole new system now. But guess what? You can find those kind of doctors that make you feel good, that really listen on ZocDoc. ZocDoc is a free app and website that helps you find and book high-quality in-network doctors so you can find someone you love. We're talking about booking in-network appointments with over 150,000 providers across all 50 states. Whether you're looking for dermatology, dentistry, primary care, eye care, or one of the other 200-plus specialties offered on ZocDoc, you could easily search for specialty or symptom to build the care team that's right for you. View thousands of verified patient reviews to give you a real sense of who your doctor is. Maybe they don't like small talk, or maybe you root for the same sports team. Whatever it is, you can feel confident that you can book with a doctor you know you'll love. And here's the thing I'm finding here of why ZocDoc is so much better, because the doctors on ZocDoc are available. Every time I ask somebody in person here about their primary care physician or their dentist, they say, oh, they're not taking new patients. But with ZocDoc, I don't have to worry about that feeling. I can find a doctor I like, and then I can book an appointment with them. And that's one of the reasons I love ZocDoc, and you should check it out too. Stop putting off those doctor's appointments and go to ZocDoc.com/sleep to find and instantly book a doctor you love today. That's ZocDoc.com/sleep. ZocDoc.com/sleep. Thanks, ZocDoc, for sponsoring this message. Hey, everybody, welcome to the first episode of the good... First, I'll do some explaining here. I'll try to talk nice and slow, though. We're talking about The Good Place, Season 1, Episodes 1 and 2, I believe, tonight. And the reason I say I believe so is because we've never done a sitcom before, or a comedy before. And I think it takes a little bit a different pair of gloves, probably a different belt, also suspenders. So this will be a new journey to explore a new type of show. And let me just briefly explain, this will be the pilot episode, so we'll see how it goes. I mean, for us, for Sleep With Me. I don't know if they made a pilot, like if episode 1 for The Good Place was a pilot or not. I guess if it was, it's probably a 2-part pilot. But I'm not sure it seemed like a pilot. But anyway, like I wanted to just briefly talk about why I chose The Good Place and what to expect. And then we'll roll into the episodes and we'll see how it goes. But I'll make sure it's nice and lulling and sleepy. But let me just talk about why we selected The Good Place, or why I guess I selected it. Though Sophia, my daughter, did have some input. And there are pretty strict criteria for selecting a show to be featured on Sleep With Me. And one is that I can tolerate watching, I need to watch the episode at least probably 5 times. A Good Place, I've probably watched the episodes more. I think maybe 6, maybe 5 times. And then I'll probably be airing them while I'm talking tonight. So that's the number one is that I can do that week after week, or in the situation of The Good Place, be repeatedly watching 2 episodes, and it still has something where it's not a practice in flagellation or something, that the show is so good or so rich or has, in this case, so many layers of things happening. That's the number one thing, and that has to be pretty detailed and just something I really enjoy and feel passionately about, so I can talk about it a lot. I guess those are the criteria. I mean, the main thing is you got to be able to watch it a bunch of times. Normally I'd prefer the show has had a long run, and The Good Place does have 2 seasons, but that was when we used to just do a series for almost a year, where it feels like in 2018, we're going to do a mix of things. We did some Who, we'll do The Good Place, we'll do some Star Trek Next Generation, and maybe we'll go back to Doctor Who. So we'll do a little bit different moving around to try to get to all the fandoms, because I know everybody has a different thing. But I'd like you to become a fan of The Good Place if you aren't already, because I really think you'll like it. And I was late to the game. So many people have been suggesting this show and talking about how much they love it. And so many people, a few of my favorite writers work on the show. Megan, particularly, if you follow her on Twitter, she's hilarious. But a lot of great people on the production side, and then on the performance side, holy mackerel, you got some favorites and some new favorites. So, and then the subject matter. Now, if you haven't started watching Good Place, season 1's available on, what do you call that thing? Netflix, as the time I'm speaking. Also, as the time I'm speaking, I haven't looked up on Hulu, but Hulu has a deal running with Spotify now that's like a really, if you're already a Spotify subscriber, a really great bargain. And also some spring shows are about to launch on Hulu. I've also been watching Legion for pleasure, and that's what got me to sign back up for Hulu. But I'm not sure if Good Place Season 2 is available on there. I haven't started watching Season 2 yet, but otherwise I'll just buy it on Amazon. Okay, sorry, somebody knocked at my door, so you didn't hear that, but, so I think Season 1's on Netflix, and what I'm going to try to do when I talk about this is, not to talk too much about the plot, because this is a series don't read anything about it, just start watching it and really experience the first season without reading anything about it, because I got to watch the first season unspoiled, and oh boy, was it a joy. And I watched it with my daughter. I was watching the first season with Sophia and rewatching the first 2 episodes at the same time. Now, I will say this is probably on the PG-13 side if it was a movie. So there were a few awkward moments, or more than a few. And I'm sure it was, as a co-parent, it's probably going to be nothing, though. I mean, it's on broadcast television, but, you know, I tend to not want to, I tend to try to avoid all those conversations anyway. So it'll be good. It'll probably trigger some good conversations between us. And then we stumble on the real reason that A Good Place appeals to me is just like Defending Your Life or a different series we've done on this show. The Good Place takes place in the afterlife. And I think that's all you really need to know for now. I mean, I'll talk about some other stuff. So let's just get started. And I think I'm going to do 2 run-throughs. I'm going to run through my notes and see how long that takes. But I think I did 2 sets of notes for each episode, maybe. At first, like a plot-based notes and then a detail. So it starts, season 1, episode 1, starts with a pair of eyes, Kristen Bell's eyes, and she's in a waiting room. I don't know what that says. Oh, it says eyes. Everything is fine, it says on the walls. And then Ted Danson, who plays Michael, says, come on in. And then I don't know if I wrote this, who, what, where, when. Maybe this is about plot. And Eleanor says, cool, because Michael says, yeah, you're here you're in the afterlife. And she goes, how did I pass on? And then we learn more about who Eleanor is. That's her name, Kristen Bell's character. She had bought some Lonely Gal margarita mix, and Ted Danson's really crushing it. He's got a great peacock bow tie and a really interesting demeanor. Also, the phrase "funnily enough" gets used, and there's so many layers of jokes. That's why I'm not going to do a dialogue run through really. But she says, who was right? And he says, oh, actually, the person who got it the closest about the afterlife was Doug Forsett from Calgary. He was 92% correct. And again, the nice thing about The Good Place is you could watch season 1 once and then watch it again and have a whole nother experience. I don't know if Doug passed or was born on 10/14/72. And Eleanor goes, is this, and he goes, well, it's a good place. And I think there's a breath. And he goes, you're okay, Eleanor. Then he says, walk purse. No, I'm something. And then there's the show title, The Good Place. And she goes on a little tour. This is a unique land, a neighborhood. There's frozen yogurt. Michael at some point says, I don't know what to tell you. Then there's a movie, Welcome to the Afterlife, starring Michael. And he says, geez, good versus bad. How do we know? An exclamation, plus, minus. We have a perfectly accurate measure system. Also, good news, your true soul. We were monitoring your positive and negative actions. Eating a sandwich, plus 0.104. Was it 0.104? Yeah, I do that in the detail. He says, more good news. You're true soulmates here. Eleanor looks around like, hey, where's my soulmate at? Which, of course, anyone would want to. He says, welcome to the good place. Yeah, then he puts something, others holding hands. Maybe there's people walking around holding hands. Eleanor's getting a tour with Michael still. She goes, hey, what's up with the bad place? He says, all artists are down there. So that would mean podcasters, I guess. Presidents. Florence Nightingale didn't even make it to the good place. But Michael sort of says, it turns out you're special, Eleanor. And, of course, that's what everyone would want to hear. Welcome to your new home. And there's all these mansions, but Eleanor's house is a new home is a cottage. And inside it's decorated in the Icelandic primitive style with portraits of clowns, which Michael says, you must love those. And Eleanor goes, oh, I do. Then he shows her this video projection thing where she can view her whole life from first-person perspective. Then Chidi shows up. He's her soulmate. And she says, cool, bring it in, soulmate. And let's see. What does this say? Senegal, that's where Chidi's from. Worldwide. He's lived across the world, though, doing great stuff. He says, what about you, Eleanor? She's lived in Phoenix, Tempe, and Phoenix. And she goes, your English is perfect. He goes, no, I speak French, but everything gets translated here. Then I read something about fundamental truths about the universe. And she says, you're going to stand by you're my soulmate. You'll stand by my side, right? And I think when Eleanor says, bring it in, soulmate, it's just the most, it cracks me up. And he says, yeah, of course. And she says, good, these aren't my memories. I'm not even supposed to be here. And Chidi either says what or gives a what look. And he's walking in now, Anagonye, and he's got a big smile. Holy cow, he's the best. Cool, bring it in, man. He's the best smiler. And William Jackson Harper's the one, the actor, who's just this, like, probably I don't know if my favorite character, but some of my favorite acting in the show. I guess it's hard to choose, though. But he just has some inherent goodness and even in maybe relatability. Not related to me, though, because he's way better than me. But she says, or he says what, and then there's like an ad break, but if you're watching it, you don't have to wait for that. Then we see a natural frog, ladybugs, orphans. That's Eleanor talking about orphans, clown paintings. She goes, it's all forked here. Just like Sleep With Me, you can't use, I used to use really bad words, but I guess maybe even moving forward, I'll use good place words. And she goes, what's up with this forking thing? And he goes, people aren't comfortable with cursing here. She goes, that's a bullshit. And maybe he says, who are you really? And she goes, well, or what did you do? She goes, I was in sales. There's a flashback to Naso Pro, which Eleanor used to sell, which is mostly chalk. And we get to know Eleanor a little bit better. She says, cool, where's my desk? And she's the top salesperson. Then we have Eleanor and Chidi having some yogurt. She goes, maybe it's a test. No way. Maybe the bad place isn't not so bad. That's when we meet Janet, who's like a supercomputer information assistant. And she's played by Darcy Carden, who is, again, another brilliant. She's so good at Janet that you... at least initially, she shed some humanity, but not forever. And she says, Janet, how bad's the bad place? She says, pretty bad. They play a brief audio clip from it. She says, I can't tell you about it. I can only play you a brief audio clip. She says, well, it doesn't sound awesome. But Halo versus can't be dishonest or enable your professor of ethics and moral philosophy, tummy ache. So she's trying to get Chidi to help her, and It turns out he's a professor of ethics and moral philosophy and also prone to tummy aches. So he says, she's like, are you going to help me or not? Then he says, no, I think I have to tell, meet Tahani in Jianyu, Moise, house boob. But what does that mean? Moise teensy house boob. I think, those are their neighbors, Tahani and Jianyu. And she says, oh, what a sweet little teensy house you have. I think that's what she says, Tahani to Eleanor. And then they have a welcome party. Then I think there's another ad break. Also, if you go on, I forgot to say this at the top, if you go on the Universal Studios Tour Hollywood, you get to see the set of, the outside set of The Good Place. Okay, so then at the party, we get to know Eleanor even better. She says, no way. And then Chidi says, you could just tell me one good thing about yourself so I can feel okay about helping you. And she says, what about something neutral? And she goes, I don't really remember. I wasn't a saint. But are the rest of the people that good? And then we have like a kind of where we see how good the people at the party are. Eleanor's really drinking. Then we get another bow tie from Michael. Keep a track of the bow tie scoots. And Michael says, this is my first neighborhood. He says, every single one of you is a good person. And Eleanor also says, why does Tahani have a British accent? No one else does. And then she says, I'm going to take some stuff from the party. And she runs off. Chidi chases her. He's so good at anxiety. Just watching. Let's see. Then Eleanor comes home drunk, and it's pretty funny. She says, hello, house. I hate, hello, 1 million clowns. And she says, oh, you could say butthead here. And then she kind of apologizes to Chidi. We get a little bit more of a likable Eleanor moment. I think, then she mispronounces his name. He says, Anagonye. Anagonye. I think I'm getting it right. And he says, good night, Eleanor. He helps her. You see how good a person he is because he helps her get ready. And he closes her doors. There's like a giant clown portrait with music. Then we have a sleeping hungover Eleanor. There's thunder and lightning and music, pop music blaring outside. And then giant ladybugs. It seems to be fireworks and everyone, it's seemingly at first in yellow and black striped outfits running around. And Michael's stressed. There's flying shrimp, pillow bottles and flowers arguing. Then I put, oh no, they're blue and gold for Michigan because Eleanor wears a lot of Michigan gear. So you say, oh, those are Michigan's colors, blue and gold stripes. And it ends up as an Ariana Grande song. There's also giraffes because she had called, here's where we see Eleanor's flashback about how she treats, watch that one with my daughter. She says, you just got to watch this show. Then glitter, glider, green fork, meteor fall. I think there's glitter falls, fork me. That's what Eleanor says. Then Michael says, you see, this place is supposed to run like a Swiss watch. Or Chidi says that to her, and he goes, you're like a hammer on the gears. And somebody says, not everything's perfect. In many ways to know it ons me. And he says to her simply, which is kind of this is an archetypal moment, but it also helps us explore Eleanor. He goes, you know what, Eleanor, you don't belong here. And Eleanor kind of makes the point of the first season to make us root for her. She says, you know what, this system stinks then. I was a medium person. It wasn't all good or all bad. I was medium. And there should be, it shouldn't be all or nothing. And she says, come on, you could teach me how to be good, not to be an asshole. Urethral gumping by big meeting. Oh, ethical something. He says he's in an ethical conundrum. Then Michael says there's a big meeting, and she says, my soul is in your hands, soulmates. And then he says, oh, I got a stomach ache. And that's when that episode ends, I think. So then we have the flashback where you see all the act break. Welcome to Good Place, Act 1. Tour and video welcome. And then the tour and talk of the bad place. Then we see all the good people where Michael says, you are good. I think. Maybe that was during the orientation. Then her house and her soulmate. And then I don't belong here. And then test, are you good? How good? And it's a party. She runs off. Chidi wants to help. You do not belong. You're ruining it all. Disaster. This is your fault. And then finally, Swiss watch. Will you help me or are you going to tell on me? Help me stay? This is an unfair system. So that's the recap. This is a recap again. What does this say? This is a little more complicated. What does this say? CK. Who would CK be? Is it CK or Chidi? A dilemma. Michael, one flaw. Tahani, everything's back to normal. Or let's say back at the party, maybe. Oh, the big meeting. Chapter 2. Chidi and Eleanor. Are you going to make me good? He says, should I? You're actually a selfish person. And Eleanor's like, yeah, maybe. Then we go to orientation day 2, where you could either fly or clean up, I guess. And it's, Eleanor's like, great, I love to fly. And then he says, come on, you got to prove you're good. And he's like, oh, this is awesome. Because then Michael confides in Tahani and Jianyu that he messed up something and he's a little worried. And then we see kind of Tahani, Jianyu's a monk and he doesn't speak. He's silent. So we see her frustration that she can't talk to her what do they call it? Soulmate. Eleanor's talking about how fun it is to pick up trash. Then we see like some loopholes in Eleanor's previous ethical dilemmas. Michael's eating frozen yogurt, saying, this one has no flavor. That's all I deserve. He goes, this is my first neighborhood. He goes, there can't be any glitches. Then we see Eleanor is cleaning up the trash, but she hides it because she wants to go flying, which causes a trash storm. She tells Chidi the truth, maybe on your own. Trash joke, dudes. Michael's kind of falling apart, but Jianyu touches his heart, and he goes, oh, wait, the strength I need is inside me, which is a nice moment. But then we see Tahani's jealous in this. Eleanor regrets lies to Balthazar out, clean up feel-bad remorse. And Chidi says, you know what, I will help. Busted by Janet starting now. And then Eleanor, Michael, you are special. Perfect cup. And then Chidi and Eleanor, he moves in to help. He's like, this is going to be fun. And she never knew where he was from because she never listens. And then she goes, Senegal. That's a gift. And then the episode closes with a note that slips under Eleanor's door that says, you do not belong. Okay, so let's go back to episode 1's details now. The first note I have says chive mush, plaid shirts. I don't know what chive mush means, but Eleanor must have chime music. I bet that's what it is. Eleanor has a plaid shirt. In the waiting room, there's 2 sets of flowers, a couch, a smile breath, whatever that is, dancing fountains, a sand painting, red, blue, and navy sand painting with the levels. Michael comes out. He's got a peacock bow tie and a polka dot white and blue pocket square. I think that's what those things are. His office, again, I don't go to any websites for this, so it's only based on pausing in time. But in some places, there's like a plant, a fern, there's some books, on a table somewhere and a lamp between two things. I drew a picture of it. There's two picks, ship bowl. There's also giant pawn-like objects on Michael's desk, which may but they're different sizes and everything. There's pens, flannel. I'm not sure what the flannel's for. Behind M, horsed yellow painting, question mark. There's also chins. I don't know. There's no chins, so I don't know what that means. There's also a vase. What looks to be a brass lamp. A big book is open. I don't know if it's the big book. Michael's shirt has black buttons on it. He has a traditional desk set with a blotter, or whatever the heck that thing is called. Like that you in the 1950s to 1980s, you would give someone as a gift if they got a job. There's flowers below Doug Forsett. There's at 3 minutes and 6 seconds, there is a wide shot that I probably could have used better. There's a palm in one corner, a dragonfly hourglass, or just a dragonfly in an hourglass. Not a dragonfly in an hourglass, and an hourglass. There's also a white candle thing. There's a lot of tea sets in this show. There's a tea set below Doug, and it's modern and light blue. By the way, LITE blue. There's what looks like a Trojan horse also. And again, I'm not trying to, it does look like that, though. To the right of Doug, this actually took like 3 or 4 things. This is probably the sweetest I would crush to give Michael's office, because the right of Doug is like a set of like windows or French doors that was made into a greenhouse, a small greenhouse, and there's orchids in there. Infiltrated light or infinite light, your anticipated needs. Oh, these are the names of stores. Infinite light, your anticipated needs. This is in town. And again, go on a tour. The small, adorable annual depot or something. Small, adorable animal depot. That would make sense. Everything fits, exclamation points. Yogurt Acres, GPBY with a smiley face. Good Places, Best Yogurts. Yogurt Horizons. These are all the different stores. Let's all eat yogurts. In the first video orientation, Michael's wearing like a teal crushed velvet suit. I said, is that crushed velvet? It looked great and looked like it felt great. And this was when I was keeping tie count. I said, is this tie number 2 and pocket square number 2? Here's some scores. If you eat a sandwich, you're plus 1.04. If you plant bow tree, plus 5.67. A tasty MG, buy a trashy magazine, that's negative 0.75. A hug a sad friend, plus 0.378. I got a lot of these. Something, snore or something. No, it's got to be something big because it's plus 593.76. Save something. Politely tolerate strange New York cocktail point, 5.0. Strange New York, I don't know. Cocktail pet. If you pet a lab, fix a tricycle. These are all positives. Lifetime of cheering for Cleveland Browns. A sister's girl birthday. Maintain composure in line at a water park in the summer or something. That's positive. Step carefully over a flower bed. Clean something. Clean under something. That was plus 999.276. Clean water. Oh, clean all the water in the world. Yeah. Here's some non-positives. Stiff a waitress. Mess with flipper. That was negative 77.28. Free book Verve. 5.5. Terrible spelling and handwriting. Negative billion. Use the term bro code. That's negative 8.20. Polka Rive. which I don't know what that means. Commissioner of the NFL. Snot rockets, rev motorcycle, take copper. Oh, tell someone to smile. Like, hey, why don't you smile more? That one's a negative. Ruin opera with boorish behavior. So it's like a lot of good stuff. Time is not flowers. Can't really tell. Could be flowers. I don't know what that means. Eleanor and Michael, flowers grow botanical. Oh, they're in a good botanical garden where flowers are growing as they walk by. There's a purple flower tree. It's really nice. Back to Taiwan in present. Break for time. I don't know. Then we see Eleanor's house, which is blue and yellow. It has a red gate. It has lots of roses in front. Again, the interior is Icelandic primitive style. And we'll always be catching up on the clowns. I put Barrett clown. That can't be correct, though. It has, but it had 3 bow ties, a blue one in good consecutive sizes, blue, green, and red. I don't know, what does Barrett clown mean? Bonnet clown? No, that looks like an A. It has big curly yellow and red hair and a checkered vest. And I don't know who's doing the costuming and the wardrobe on this, but they give him 10 cheers because Cheetah rolls in smoother than butter and chocolate, like ice cream or something. He's got a striped shirt, real cool pants, and his giant smile. There's a teapot in Eleanor's kitchen. She has I put breakfast barf, but I think a breakfast bar. Is this a really big moment when Chidi puts his hand over his heart and promises, or is it a manipulative moment? I also wondered if this is an L.A. area botanical garden they're shooting in. Oh, also, Eleanor's screen is a curved screen. I've said they have curved screens in the good place. Forked up, no cursing. Old job, nasopro. Eleanor's wearing a turquoise moon and cactus and necklace when she had her old job. I guess because she lives in Arizona. Here's another place, yogurt, and yogurt with a YOGUT or something. Janet is an information assistant. She's so purple. And then I says, pay attention if she's always dressed the same. Frog jumps into a fountain. We're talking about that. Professor of ethics and moral philosophy who has stomach aches. Next door neighbor, Tahani says, sweet Aunt Teensy, Giannu, Tahani. Michael has the peacock and polka dot square tie. I said, at the party, are they in the foyer? 1425 is a funny flashback. Then there's a funny joke. I mean, there's just so many funny jokes. But Eleanor says, how good are these people? Let's find out. And they find out. It's really good. Janet Janet gone. New tie Michael has. A periwinkle with red and blue, possibly. Oh, red and blue shapes. And a very nice pocket thing. The shrimp they had, though, that Eleanor was eating were super fake. Cartoon giraffe. Oh, that's what she says Tahani looks like. And then, it's just funny when she comes home and she says, hello, house. Hello, 1 million clowns. Oh, notice a couple wicker balls as decorative things. When did that, seen that in other places, too. How do you do that without playing with it? I put wheel. It's just written by itself, so it may be a decorative thing. Here's the thing. Oh, yeah, above her bed. It's more, wheel, but more big gear sculpture above her bed. Couch. Oh, her bed has couch-like pillows instead of bed pillows. I said, what kind of good place is this? Anagonye. Next day, Ariana Grande is playing Giant Ladybugs, forks, fireworks, or smoke colors, confetti or shrinkage, something, Nasopro, roll around giant bottles of Nasopro, flowers arguing, giraffes, Michigan stripes, blue and yellow. Oh, I saw a new clown. This was like a Hamilton, George Washington clown. And again, I go back to this when Eleanor says, this system sucks. I was a medium person. Chidi's sitting in a white leather circle chair that looks like a strange speaker. He has a belt. What does that mean? He has to gourd. He has a belt. And she says, let me be your ethical guinea pig, soulmate. And then there's thunder. Emergent nectar hood meeting. Oh, neighborhood meeting. What's it going to be, soulmate? And he says, oh, stomach ache. Then the episode, Chidi's internal debate. I don't know what the decorative thing around Janet's shirt neck thing is. 100% incognito clothes. Meeting. Michael has bow tie and pocket square in the Michigan stripe colors, so it's hard to see his pocket square, but he does have it. Tahani's the first person to go back to normal, and she's kind of resplendent in all circumstances. In chapter 2, 2 minutes and 50 seconds, there's a view. Oh, I saw this clown sculpture I'd never seen before. It's in some sort of lucite box, and it's like a deconstructed clown. It has the hair and the bald cap, the bow tie, and then the puffy things, and that's it. So it's kind of like a sculpture. It's something you don't want to miss. Metaphysics and Morals, one of the books Chidi has. He says it's a book on how to act good. Oh, he has a chalkboard ready. Here's some of the things on the chalkboard. On the left side says, question, do I have a moral imperative to help? Is there potential for greater harm to the community? Possibility is this a test for me or for others? Fears, can morality even be taught? Aristotle, Kant, Parfait, I think was the other person, utilitarian, simply too flawed, selfish. Then a to-do list kind of under it, maybe read Locke, contract theory, Singer, Heidegger, Aristotle's ethics. Then what does this say? At the flashback of Eleanor, the first flashback at the bar, there's snowboarding on the TV in a fish tank. Then orientation day 2, the town is a mess. It's flying time. There's even hula hoops and a yellow umbrella. Michael's tie is a nice pastel floral print, tiny flowers. Pocket square, I didn't see yet, question mark. Mail trays, mail to raise. I don't know what that says. Janet launches the flyers. Tinkerballa is one of the flyers. If you'll know who she is and what that means. Or Tinkerbella. Tahani says she's been to Johnny Depp's private bird sanctuary. A draper, like from a gift. Lots of multicolor. What does it say? Draper, paper. Oh, like a lot of paper strewn about, like you would pack a fancy gift in. But not like tissue paper, like if you cut paper and crimped it, like pom-pom material. Yeah, then I put it, then we meet another couple, Gunnar and Antonio. At first I just heard Gunnar's name, but they almost sound like cartoon characters. They're very enthusiastic. There's also giant cheerleading horns or whatever you used to say, yay, yay, cheer for my team, to amplify your voice. Those big round things like a cone. And the next trip to the bar, there's poker on the TV. Then the flyers, there's like rainbows of smoke when they're flying, just regular rainbows. See another store, the suggestion of yogurt. Then we see Michael's pocket square. It's purple lavender, like a bard mom, boardroom, like a board or something. We see yogurt acres. We meet Teacup the dog. Eleanor's cleaning up trash. There's ball pit balls everywhere, too, like they came out of a ball pit. Eleanor is trying to hurry up so she can fly. Gunnar and Antonio are in the background. They just finished flying, I think, and they're so happy. Then the trash storm comes. Chidi's with Eleanor. His eyes go wide. And trash storm, Gunnar and Antonio, dream come true. Then we're in Tahani's living room, or Tahani and Jianyu's living room. There's lots of flowers, some trees outside with the white Christmas lights at the windows, a few different tea sets, including one in use, some big urns. They have that comfortable velvet stuff, like their chairs and their pillows are made out of, you've been to houses like that, and it feels good to sit in it. You just don't know if you could sit in it all the time. It's kind of furniture you want to pet, or, if people didn't sit on it with their butts, I'd probably rub my face on it. Let's see, Hasper Peel Carter, gold brass. She had a pearl necklace around her neck, and she's drinking from a kind of gold or brass and glass tea cup. Then, bar trip 3, there's football on TV. And Eleanor gets, she's not welcome back to Thursday night drinks. Eleanor wakes up, a decision is made. She's in a pastel part of town. Chidi rolls in. He's all Mr. Rogers. He's got this mustard sweater on, just like Mr. Rogers style. He is like somebody, I guess it's more the character than the actor, for very Mr. Rogers-y. We see Antonio and Gunnar. Janet's throwing trash. Eleanor's having Janet help her throw trash in their house. Then it's like the next day. Eleanor's like, "Hey, Michael, you've invented the perfect to-go cups." She has 2 cups, presumably one for Chidi. We see another store, Elements of Happiness. Michael says, "No more flying for 1,000 years. On the way to leverage." What does that say? It's a quote. It says, "On the way to leverages." I don't know what that says, but it's actually, I'm like pretty much even with the show, so it's going to catch up. I'm seeing Chidi in the mustard sweater right now. Oh, these are books that Chidi has. The Concept of Time. And then this is when he goes, "We're going to have so much fun teaching you. There's going to be assignments and quizzes." And, then the note comes. He leaves, the note comes. Also, there's a strange blue vase by the door. It's got 2 round things that are blue, and then a white top. And there's a small cubist clown above that. What is it? Then the note to end the episode says, "You don't belong here," which again is kind of, we could presume everyone's fear, but especially Eleanor's fear. And the episode comes to a close, and I highly suggest watching those episodes, checking them out. I think they're on demand as well. Oh, here's Michael in I didn't notice this. He's in a blue suit. He's got a plaid tie. This is when they're talking about the to-go cups and matching pocket square with like a blue navy border and then some sort of lighter blue design in the middle. And he's got a dark navy suit with a pinstripe, like a turquoise pinstripe, and then a kind of blue Oxford type shirt on. And without the audio, Ted Danson is just really, I wonder if he's having fun. I would presume he is. Looks like it. And again, one more time, do the Universal Tour. Check out you can even see their parking spaces too, which is a great, and that's it. I'll see you soon. All right. Thanks and good nights.
Hey, everybody, this is Scoots with a tuck you in message. And you may have been hearing or listening, or maybe haven't, like the past month, listing all the people that that shouldn't support the show, right? If you're new, you only listen once in a while, you can't afford to support the show, you don't want to, you don't need to support the show. But that led to a question that tons of people on Sleep With Me Plus have been answering, and that maybe I could answer for you
should you support the show? And the easiest question, it may have a quick answer. Yes. Are you listening to me right now? Yes. Are you hearing me right now? Yes. And do you want to be a part of this thing that we're doing? Sleepy joy and delight in the deep, dark night? And if the answer is yes, right now in this moment, go to sleepwithmepodcast.com/plus and sign up to not just support the show, but to be a part of this, being here for all those other people and for you. Not only will you get access to stuff based on how super listeners listen to the show, people that listen all night, people that have been listening for years, people that have favorites. They only listen to certain styles of shows. Maybe they only want the stories, but they want them as soon as they come out. Maybe whatever you like, that's what we built Sleep With Me Plus in mind. Or you just want ad-free listens, or you listen all night long. But are you a person that Sleep With Me, you feel comfort with this show? You found this show and you're like, man, this is what I've been looking for. Is that a yes? I never found anything like this. Is that a yes? You helped me when nothing else worked. That's a yes. I like the idea of having a boar friend or a boar bud. That's a yes. You're there when I need you. I can count on this show. Is that a yes? Yes. I listen when I wake up in the middle of the night. Yes, I listen when I have trouble getting to sleep. Yes, I listen to more than one episode a night when I need to. Yes, I listen every night I need the show because I know I can count on it. Yes, I've been listening for years and years and years. Or yes, I just want, yes, I'd rather skip the music or have a preference beyond what a regular listener might have. Yes, I know how much thought, care, kindness, caring, hard work from Scooter and other people go into making the show so it can be here for me. Yes, I hear and in listening when you ask for support. Yes, I know the show needs my support. Yes, I'm in a position where I can support the show, but most importantly, yes, I want to support the show. I can and I want to. And maybe I want to because it's a yes, I'd miss the show if it was gone. Yes, I don't think I could replace this podcast. Yes, I count on it. Or maybe it's a yes, wow, this podcast, when I support it, I get to help thousands of other people who count on this show. Yes, me supporting this is rare in this world. Even being in a position to support the show is pretty rare. Yes, having a desire right now to take action to support something I care about is tough and rare. It's not easy. That's the one thing I've learned over the past this year is how tough it is to support the show. Not just financially, but there's something in everybody's way, and that's normal. So I'm looking for the people that have so many yeses, they outweigh those barriers like to support the show right now. Yes, I know it will feel good when I support the show. Yes, I know I could cancel at any time. I'm not committed to anything either. Yes, I love the bore giggles. Yes, I love sleepy joy and delight in the deep dark night. Or yes, I just love the boredom, the consistency, the tone of the show. Yes, this podcast has changed my life. Yes, this podcast has changed my relationship with sleep. Yes, my life is better when this show is a part of it. But yes, right now I'm going to go to sleepwithmepodcast.com/plus and sign up to support the show. And yes, I'll set up the bonus content tomorrow. I won't do that because I'm already in bed. I'll just support the show now. But really, even if it's not your yes, I'm a part of this thing that's important to a lot of people. Yes, I'm a part of this thing that makes my life better and other people's lives better. And I want it to be here in this world. It is so different than a lot of things I see during the deep, dark day. Yes, I want to be a part of this thing, and I want to feel good about it. And you could do that at sleepwithmepodcast.com/plus. But if you can't, you don't need to feel, you might feel things about it, right? Because we all do. But it's not a strategy. Yeah, it's really hard to support the show, even when you're in a position to. And yeah, not everybody's in a position to, or not everybody has those yeses. Not everybody wants to support the show. And maybe you're just a new listener, listen along with curiosity, or you're one of those people that listens to the show every once in a while when you're going through one of those seasons of life, one of those phases from life. You're a quote unquote regular listener. You only listen for a little bit at a time. You really don't need to support the show. I guess you could, but you don't need to. We just need those people with all those yeses. And I guess to get one of those people where the yeses pile up in a way that they switch the balance. And it's like, right now, I'm going to go to sleepifiedpodcast.com/plus. And that they realize, that you realize on one side, it's pretty normal to not be in a place financially or just where you want to support the show or where it's even possible. There's so many obstacles in that way, and that's okay. But that is also a big yes when someone does that, because that is what keeps the podcast around. And that is a sign, hey, I don't want this show I want this show to be here. I can't replace it. So if any of those if you have enough yeses, please consider supporting the show. Thanks.